Okay, now that we have a beacon running on the SQL server, let's have a look at doing lateral movement. So we can check to see if this SQL server has any external links to other SQL servers. So we can select all from master sys servers. And we can see that this server 1, has a link to sql1.cyberbotic.io. It's interesting to note that this is in our current domain, which is the dev domain, and this is actually in the parent domain. And we can execute SQL queries on that host using OpenQuery. So we can say select all from OpenQuery. And then first we give it the target. So SQL 1. And then the actual query. So let's just say select server name. And this server name is SQL 1. And we can check to see if XP command shell is enabled on that server as well. We just have to do the same query as previously, which is select all from sys.configurations, where the name is equal to, and this is where we start getting into complicated like single quote escaping. So because we're already in these single quotes, we have to wrap the XP command shell string in two double quotes, or two single quotes rather. And then just close that up. And go, and we can see that XP command shell is enabled there as well. Now you might think that we could just do exec XP command shell and then something, but actually this XP command shell won't actually fire unless we prepend some sort of select query. So I always do select server name like this and then put XP command shell afterwards. So let's do the same thing. Let's do PowerShell, hidden, and an encoded command. Now we have a reverse port forward running as bfarmer at the moment. If we go to proxy pivots, we can see that here. And what I'm actually going to do is stop that and move it over to this beacon. So let's do reverse port forward, 8080, 1010, 5120, and 80. Now, the reverse port forward, so this will bind port 8080 on server 1. But server 1 can't actually talk out to our Kali IP at all. And so you might think that this reverse port forward will not work. But actually the reverse port forward is designed to tunnel the traffic up the C2 chain. So the traffic hitting port 8080 on server 1 will actually get tunneled through to the beacon that we have on workstation 1. And then that beacon will tunnel it up to the team server. And the reason we need to do this is because SQL 1 in CyberBotic can't actually talk directly to workstation 1. So we can't use workstation 1 as like the target to download a PowerShell payload. We just have to budge that up the chain because SQL 1 can only talk to server 1. And so the same thing is true for the pivot listener. So we can't get SQL 1 to call back to the pivot listener on workstation 1. We have to create a new pivot listener on server 1. So let's call this one serve 1 pivot. And then same thing. Let's call this S1. Okie dokie. And then the PowerShell payload that we're going to execute is again the same thing, but we're going to replace the IP address of workstation 1 with the IP address of server 1. And that is 10.10.17.25. And then we're going to replace this with S1. And again, let's check out the weblog. And then in here, paste that, remove the line break, and go. Okay, we see the hit for S1 and a beacon from SQL 1.